Hello, buenas tardes, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Meet Me at the Metaverse and happy Small Business Month. We are so excited to have you here joining us. I hope that you're able to join us this morning where we had a session in Spanish. But now we are excited to have another session in English. Today we will be having Aileen Zoellner from Georgia Tech Apex Accelerator, and we will be learning about government contracting. There are so many a lot of money available within government contracting that a lot of us just aren't aware of this. But there are wonderful programs such as the Georgia Tech Apex Accelerator where they will help you, they will guide you, and the best thing is that it is absolutely free. So if you are joining us from YouTube Live, just come on and meet us at the Metaverse. You will see a link in the description. You can join us free. Where you can also see the exhibit booths, the virtual stands. We have over 90 Latino small business owners, as well as our partners and speakers who have joined us this month for Small Business Month at the Meet Me at the Metaverse. So we're very excited to have Aileen Zoellner, and I won't take up any more time. Then let's bring her in. Hello, Aileen.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good
Thank you for
afternoon.
having.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here with us, and I will leave you the mic.
Thank you. Thanks, Norma. Thank you so much for everyone just being patient and I'm excited to be part of this wonderful exhibit, this platform, and I will be sharing with you a little bit of what we do, our program, our services, and at the end, hopefully, if is there an opportunity to share also our website, I will do so. But for now, just again, I'm Aileen Zoellner, and I am the Georgia Tech Apex Accelerator counselor. I'm located in Warner Robins, but we are actually a statewide program. We have centers across the state, and I will share with you today the agenda of how we were established, where we are now, what we do, our connection of how we are in an ecosystem with Georgia Tech, as well as describing a few of our services, giving you an opportunity to understand from point A to Z of how to work, how to do business with the government in 7 phases. And also to government is also federal, but also in a state and local government sector. Okay, so sharing with you who we are. We were previously from a Procurement Technical Assistance Center, which we were called PTAX, but now we have our program name has changed, and that's kind of what I'm going to share with you how that evolved. So our program actually is established back in 1985. We are a total of 95 Apex accelerators on a national level. Again, formerly known as PTAX, but now our Apex Accelerator program, it covers again on a national to include the District of Columbia, Guam, Northern Mariana Islands, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. What we do, we help businesses pursue under government contracts for federal, state, and local, as well as specializing in subcontracting. And we also have programs that help in the help with Indian tribes, Alaskan Natives. And our funding, how does it work? Our funding is a federal Department of Defense and a state effort. It's a cooperative agreement. And how this legislative, how it works, it's under the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act. So on a national level, each Apex Accelerator is funded a little different, but we, Georgia Tech, the Georgia Apex Accelerator, located and headquartered in Atlanta, and what we do, excuse me, what we do. So our services, we offer training, we offer workshops, as well as one-on-one counseling, and this is a service that is provided to our clients and active clients. And when you are an active client, you also have what we offered as a bid match account service. So all of these services that we offer are definitely at no charge to you. So we help you in the government marketplace, and we help you navigate how to do business with the government. Again, in all sectors, federal, state, and city. So how our program works, we are part of the Georgia Tech Connection, the Enterprise Innovation Institute, EI Square. And with our program, with Georgia Tech, it's an economic development program. And our program, it helps startup companies in every type of industry, as well as helping business services. And our program is definitely all to help businesses grow, and it's free. So continuing of how we serve and how does this work, the government acquisition process. Um, in this in the government acquisition, the navigation, we help you navigate of looking at requirements of how it would be to go into the market, into selling to the government, so conducting some market research. So all of these different steps, the processes that you see on this slide, from requirements to market research, solicitation preparation, proposal evaluation, award, administration, closeout. These are some of the steps and phases that we help you navigate and walk you through. We actually facilitate on an administrative, from a perspective of looking in, as a counselor, as a mentor, coaching. We don't necessarily do the work for you, but what does this mean? We help you in a training effort. What is it to know about working in the federal contracting? So, in the contracting sector there are certain goals, and being a small business in the in that world of trying to market to the federal agencies as well as Department of Defense, there's certain acquisition goals that agencies will look for regards to small businesses, and what is it that they would need to fulfill these goals. So in overall, this slide is kind of sharing with you what is it that federal government will look at in a total of servicing of percentages. So if looking above total small business, all small businesses that are working with the federal government, these should be verified in a database, which all of these, as you can see, the total small business, small disadvantage, woman-owned, hub zone, and service disabled, these all are percentages that the government would have to meet, and opportunities for small businesses and an overall goals. Each agency will have a different setting, but the threshold of market is again just kind of sharing with you an overall of from 100% to 25% only will be awarded to total small business, 15% to small disadvantage, 7% to woman owned, 4% to hub zone, and 4% to service disabled veteran owned. Some of the frequent questions that we get is kind of, does the government buy what I sell? And yes, the government will absolutely buy all sorts of products and services. And some of the questions again, kind of laid out on the slide, is saying, what does the government call it? So in the government world, everything is associated by a code. And federal, there would be what we call them NAICS codes, NAICS codes, PSC codes. In the state, it would be NIGP codes. So products and services are associated with government codes. Now, where would the government buy? The government has different procurement databases. For the most part, if it's federal, if it's state, city, each level of government will have their own. So that's kind of the answer. It depends. In what quantities do they buy? It varies. The answer is it'll vary. It'll vary according to the requirement. How frequently? That also depends on the availability of the products and services. And what dollar amount? Well, that would vary, of course. The budgets of the government, of how much they're allocated. A fiscal year for the federal world, fiscal year starts October 1st. In state government, that would be July. And who makes the buying decisions? Buying decisions in the federal government level, it's contracting officers. And the officers really determine the last of the administration when it comes to the procurement, the final decision making. A lot of the government procurement or acquisition is computer based. And so a lot of the opportunities will be electronically, and solicitations that are identified again in different procurement databases. One of the things to take into consideration is the basics to getting started. So these steps that you'll see in this slide, registering from the Secretary of State, whether you're an LLC or incorporated, to obtaining a tax ID number, definitely having a business banking checking account. Again, kind of identifying what are your government codes of your industry with product services. If it's federal, then it would be your NAICS. If again, or PSC, product service codes, and then determining whether you're a small business or not. The small business determination is according to your primary NAICS code, or your primary government code that identifies the most revenue in your business. Determining when to begin with federal opportunities. That would begin in SAM, that's sam.gov. That's registering your business to find federal opportunities. When it pertains to state government, so with state industry codes, referring to NIGP codes, again, it's associated with your products and services, registering with the Department of Administrative Services of the state, Team Georgia Marketplace. Another requirement, the basics to getting started, is all businesses should be e-verified. And then, of course, commitment to continuous training. The steps of government contracting. We really, our whole mission is to, the question is, are you procurement ready? And procurement ready means trying to situate your company in a position of to procure, to be ready, that your products and services are also identified, that your business is registered correctly in certain databases. So this steps of one through seven is kind of a step format of, the first thing would be to register, whether you're registering in the federal government, that would be again with SAM, that's the Systems for Award Management. And if it's a state, then of course it would be according to the state. In this case, Georgia, that would be Team Georgia Marketplace. But these phases, these steps from the one through seven, don't necessarily always have to be in a fashion of consecutive one through seven, because it also depends upon how your business is established. Some of these components really are interactive, meaning they kind of really go hand in hand, because it also depends upon the marketing, knowing the right people, knowing where to find these opportunities, preparation, and performing. So a lot of the times, this is also is consideration of not just in the government, but how well is your company established in the way of 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 your suitability. You know, the preparation of your marketing. If you have websites, if you have anything that knowing the right folks. Are you, for example, in this perfect opportunity, being in with the Hispanic Georgia Chamber of Commerce? That's a great opportunity of knowing the right people, of anything that is pertaining to finding opportunities. It would be not only are you seeking these opportunities in the federal, state, and city, but also you must be prepared in your bidding and your proposals. Do you have the pricing, the opportunity to make sure that in the performance level, as it says here, step 7, in order to deliver your products and services to the government. So really, again, all of these uh, components, all of these steps that you see here may have to be a building block, or also, again, a way of saying, kind of keeping everything again in position, hand in hand. Reason why is marketing and understanding, is it something that the government is buying? So what do you do best? That's kind of what we tell our clients. What are your differentiators? Why should the government buy your product and services? What is your target market? So the government will have different agencies that procure different products and services, what meets their requirements. So are you targeting that right agency? So you would have to do some analysis, some historical analysis, some forecasting, understanding, again, who is buying your product and service, and are they buying what you're selling? So again, it kind of the thought process of how to position, to be procurement ready in the government sector, of the who would buy it, and then of course, can I sell it? Are you equipped to win and execute? Part of that being equipped to execute is, again, kind of getting you in that first steps of registration. Your business must be registered in the uh, if it's federal, the traditional one is sam.gov, and the registration is a process that requires certain steps of having your, I can tell you now, it's having your business ID, employer, your tax ID number, having your banking account available under a business name, also having your codes already established, understanding what are your NAICS codes and your PSC codes, and then kind of understanding also of of where the process of what is it that you need in order to create your this account, this registration account. We would walk you through. So our part of our services is helping you navigate, helping you register in these databases. Sometimes your services that we offer, well, the services that we offer to you may require, again, preparation prior to the starting of the registration requirement, but we would help you. So again, these are type of the unique components that you need, a checklist of what you would need to be in the federal registration database. And what you would, in the overall, what you're looking for is a unique entity ID, which we refer to as a UEI. And some of these key bullets that you see on this slide is your core data. So assertions, reps inserts, all of these components it's allowing you to register. It's telling the federal government that I am ready to do federal work, verified federal entity. And with that said, that means you would be in a public view. So the public view is if you're a small business, you would also be in what you call the Small Business Administration Dynamic Small Business Search. So not only are you registered in SAM, but you would also be in the national database under the U.S. Small Business Administration. So some of the components that you also see here is that if you are a nonprofit and you just require or possibly just loans, there's also in SAM a financial assistance awards only registration. So those would be for nonprofits, for state and local entities. And this is another service that we offer and that we would help you. The e-verification, again, it's a mandatory service that you would definitely need doing business with Georgia government agencies as well as federal agencies. Marketing, step two, marketing to government is different in a federal, state, and city. The federal marketing is kind of what we share with all of our clients is getting yourself ready with your capability statement. It is a 1 to 2 page. We always say it's a resume of your company. What have you done? Why? What are your capabilities? What differentiates you? In the capability statement, you would also identify uh, what what is it that you specialize? What is it that you do best? So that kind of goes hand in hand also with an elevator speech. And your capability statement is that one component that you would need to to send email, make it available to prime, also prime vendors, prime contractors, and so it's for federal agencies and for prime contractors that are already working with federal government or with the Department of Defense. Marketing tools, again, it's just a capabilities, some of the components that you'll see, your logo, your UEI, your cage code. These codes, UEI, again, it's you would be designated after you've been verified in SAM. This is for a federal marketing tool tips. Marketing tools and tips also we share with our with you at this time and with our clients that it's important, just kind of what we're doing now, being participant of exhibits, of trade shows, of any type of conference like this platform that you're in now. This is an excellent way of networking. So that's a big component of selling also to the government. Networking, making sure that you are, we always say, um, you have to be really in all levels and understanding we may not always be in all types of conferences or events or trade shows, but there are some opportunities that, if anything, um, in our website we'll try to share events, but it's also an opportunity to be in your industries. um, Sometimes again government small business specialists understanding who they are, and they'll share with you, these are marketing tools that we share, that in the sense of who do I need to be in position of face to face, matchmaking, matchmaking events, also again in a level of sometimes prime vendors, prime. When I say prime, those are awardees already with the government, and that could also be an opportunity for you to connect with coming in as a subcontractor, knowing the right people. In here we're sharing the understanding of who are the intricate components. So when the business you is in the center of trying to making sure that in the government side, the federal world, as well as sometimes state and city, there are specialists, small business specialists that are advocates that will help you identify, that will make it a connection. So those are great folks to make contact with, because the small business specialist will always have an understanding of what goals are the agencies meeting, or what goals they're not meeting, or what type of requirements are out there that are being shared by contracting officers in that federal agency. So the small business specialist is a liaison between the contracting officer, program managers, and the end users. And all contracting officers are definitely who would determine, who make those final decisions. And they are the ones, the contracting officers, that determine whether these awards are going to be awarded to a woman owned or to a veteran owned. So, what does that mean for you? By you understanding some of these officers, of who they are, of who are the program managers, who is actually using the product and service, you're positioning your company by doing some analysis, the market research that requires to position your company. And when doing business with the government, it's important to also know regulations, know what is it that it requires of policies, and ensuring that when you are signing that one contract, are you meeting those requirements? Are you an understanding of? So in the federal world, they're called federal acquisition regulations. And with the state of Georgia, it will also have a manual of policies and regulations, as well as city. And again, if it's in a subcontracting opportunity, what does that mean? Well, that's what you call a subcontracting flow down of, of responsibilities. So again, every level of government will require a regulation, a policy that would have to be the approving, the authority that the business would have to definitely be in compliance and follow. Finding the opportunities. What does that mean? In the federal world, the federal government, it you would have to do some navigation with SAM and finding federal opportunities. It would be this slide kind of helps you to understand the different components of what SAM is all about. Contracting opportunities is one of them, and again, our services would help you navigate, help you understand how to find, how to where, what agencies, and also understanding what has been awarded. And by you doing all of this type of analysis, of studies, of finding these opportunities, it helps you to understand also of how to prepare for future federal opportunities. When it comes to the advertising of these opportunities in the federal um, government, in SAM, all federal contracts that are the threshold of 25,000 or more, it would be identified in SAM. So that's the entry point, a dollar threshold. It's the traditional way of how opportunities are identified. Then there may be subsets, sub procurement databases, that the traditional again would be SAM, but there are agencies that use additional, which would be a unique way of how these agencies would find, how they would, in other words, not find, but post, notify, and anything that's an example that we share is anything that's less than 25,000. Sometimes they ask, well, if our some businesses, what are opportunities that are less than 25K. One database that we recommend is the Unison Marketplace, and that's federal contracts again that are possibly in the threshold of 25,000 or less. That means that the government is it could be a smaller procurement, and the the business would position you. It would require that you register also in these databases. Another one that we share with you is the Fed Connect. Preparing for bids and proposals, one of the key components that we always say is do an honest assessment of your capabilities and understand what is it that the government is seeking, what is it that the government wants, what are the requirements. And that goes back to, are you definitely, we always share with our clients, it's the go, no go. If there's a green light on all of the requirements, if your business is meeting the delivery, the quantity, the manpower to provide, to deliver this product and service, and that's fantastic. That's why we always say do an honest assessment of what is it that you can really deliver to the government. And keeping in mind that the government pays after you deliver a product and service. So your product and service may be delivered tomorrow, but the government will pay for that delivery of your product and service perhaps in 30 days because you would have to invoice. So again, those are components that you would have to keep in mind of having all of your material, having your product ready, and then being paid afterwards. Some of the for preparation for bids and proposals is participating in our training webinars. We help you understand how to prepare, what are the requirements, what is it that the government looks for, helping you understand if the difference of capturing management. Are you capturing all of the components that you need in order to be able to submit a proposal? Now, smaller proposals or bids are different from an actual complex RFQ, a request for proposal. So we help you understand what does that mean for you in those type of efforts, how to prepare, and being able to pay close attention to details. That's a it's something that we repeat over and over. All of the shalls, the wills, anything that is pertaining to the government that has to be what they're looking for and what you must remember of how to win a bid. So winning a contract, that means that the government contractor, contracting officer is definitely who has awarded the contract and who would execute or who can modify or can actually terminate a contract, and that contracting officers may bind the government only to the extent of the authority delegated in writing to them. So again, just kind of sharing with you, hoping it's more of a win-win, right? And in case that there isn't a win, always remember that there's a debriefing, requesting immediately. A debrief is just asking the contracting officer, how can I do better? It's a learning, uh, getting some feedback. Uh, Sometimes, again, it could be a matter of maybe it was your price was too high or too low, or perhaps the government will kind of share with you, well, the criteria wasn't met. So the government will always look for the criterias of your past performance, your pricing, and how are you delivering this product and service. So this is a great way of asking and learning. Being responsible. Being responsible also pertains not just to the federal world, but also in the state and city. The responsibility of, if you are a Georgia vendor, then why not be registered with the state as well as your city, the local counties, opportunities on all levels of government. The state and local government has they do a little different than the federal, but again, it's the components of understanding the concept and registering. You would have to do all that at different agencies. Again, in every agency, they will have perhaps their own procurement database. So the traditional would start at the Georgia Team Procurement Registry, and then making sure that you're registered with the specific agencies that you're seeking to do business with. With state and local, again, understanding that you may have over 1,200 places that whether if it's city, state, or if it's federal, you would have to make sure that understanding where some of these agencies are looking, what is it that they're seeking, right? So again, it's an opportunity for you to dive in and make sure that you're participating. And for you to have these codes, NIGP codes, this is the link that you would find. They're called, it's abbreviated for National Industry Government Procurement. So again, it's according to your commodity, to your products, to the services that you offer. Finding state and local governments, different links that you see, and to help you identify agencies and agencies on the state and local level. Marketing to state and local governments, again, it's understanding who and where, how to get yourself in the proper location, situated. And the thing that we always tell our clients is, it may take six it may take 6 months, it may take a year, it may take up to 24 months, 2 years. So it's a learning curve, it's a way of preparation. It really, if you want to be able to be in compliance, you want to be prepared. You don't just want to just jump into something that it's in other words, yes, there is a lot of opportunities. Yes, there are a lot of monies, but you also want to make sure that you're understanding the navigation, that you're understanding what you're doing, right? And paying, creating these relationships, and paying close attention to the details behind. And I thank our audience. I thank you for inviting me, for having this opportunity to sharing the slides, sharing this training. And again, if you would like to have a one-on-one, if you want to become a client, you can reach out to me, Aileen Zoellner, at innovate.georgiatech.edu. Our website right now is www.gtpac.org. But we are in transition from previous PTAC to now our new program under the Apex Accelerator, which is under the Department of Defense. And again, we're still kind of in the process, in a transmitting of marketing purposes. But for now, I think, again, this is, I'm, I'm sharing, and if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much,
much.
Eileen. Thank you for this wonderful information. What I got from all of this information is that, yes, there are a lot of opportunities, but that this takes time, and that there are resources like the Georgia Tech Apex Accelerator that will help you navigate this whole system. I think one of the things that we have realized is the awareness or lack of awareness sometimes of the different opportunities. So there are numerous opportunities to work in government, and it's not just building, right? It's not just constructions, as you were saying. There are, the government uses all types of businesses. So if
Yeah,
you are,
absolutely. Yes, absolutely. The government will buy absolutely all sorts of products. From I always tell our clients, from your from making soaps to aircraft, that $1 billion aircraft. So, I mean, the components are immense, from products to services, not just construction and innovation. The government is looking for new products, anything that's new, something that you've created. The government sometimes doesn't even know that they're buying or that they need. And what does that mean? There's opportunities for businesses to show their products and services. Those would be referred to as unsolicited opportunities. So there's a way to navigate and to position your business. It's just a matter of learning how to do that and positioning your company to be procurement ready.
I think that's the key, is positioning your company to be procurement ready. So if you have any questions, I don't see any questions in the chat, but if you just got here, you can always go back. If you see under us, there is previous events. You can see this recording later on. And if you have any questions here, Aileen has left her email. You can reach out to us at the Hispanic Business Center, which is the educational arm of the Georgia Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And we will be happy to connect you with Aileen. And that is one of our desires, is to have you be procurement ready and be able to just take advantage of the numerous opportunities available for our community. So thank you so much, Aileen. We appreciate you. Thank you for taking your time. And hopefully maybe next time we can have you do it in Espanol.
Yes, I am so looking forward to it. My Spanish is I'm working on it. Hola, ¿cómo está? And I would love to, even if I am so thankful that you've invited us. And again, I always tell everyone these questions that you may have in the government, doing business with the government. All questions are welcome. We try to serve on all different levels, from beginning understandings to a company who is well seasoned. So from startups to companies that have been in place for a while, we're here to help you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Aileen. And if anybody wants to reach out and didn't grab the information, you can reach out to us. Thank you, Aileen.
You're welcome. Have a good one. Adios.
Thanks.
Gracias.
Adios. All right. Well, I hope that you enjoyed all of that information that is specifically tailored for you as a small business owner. I know that it was a lot of information, but it is needed. Aileen and at the Georgia Tech Apex Accelerator, they have numerous checklists and ways to help you. So if you feel intimidated, that's what they're here for, is to help you navigate this system. So thank you for joining us. We will have another session at 6 p.m. We know you can't join all of them, but you can always come back and watch the recordings, and make sure you join us live at one of them. You can ask questions, you can connect with other people, and make sure that you visit the virtual exhibits. We have over 90 small businesses that are participating in having the exhibit hall. So thank you so much for joining us right now. We'll see you at 6 p.m. Hasta luego.